Hello and welcome to Lulus training update. This video is going to be all about the recall. So I know you've seen how we start the recall with the 6-foot leash, just calling her name, having her come back, click feed, free. Or we also do like the lured recall where we have the dog following some food, call their name, snap our hand, have them come back and reward. Just trying to condition as soon as they hear their name, I have something for you. All it means is come get the food from my hand. Lulu is a very independent and rather stubborn dog. Even if she knows her behaviors pretty well, she does have to see that you are extremely consistent. If you ask something of her, you must follow through, because if you do not, she will learn from that.
Wow.
We've seen this even with us having a new trainer when he was like trying to get her out of the kennel and stuff. He wasn't as consistent and as direct and clear as I was, so she started to push him around. If she knows that you are a pushover, she knows. I would say with her specifically, even compared to other dogs, she requires consistency.
Lulu.
When I first started doing the long line with her, there are also a few clips of this in the video where I call her back and she looks at me and she goes, "You don't have a leash. I'm far away. You can't do anything." And she'll either look at me and stand there, or she will literally turn the other way. And I've even had her run before too. So at that point, I'm just telling her no, and then picking up the long line and making her follow through. The long line and prong collar correction was super effective and super clear. We were working on the e-collar conditioning as well. So the same way that we do e-collar for our other commands, where we start the stim on a very low level, ask the behavior, tap, 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 and we teach the dog how to turn it off. So with the e-collar for the recall, I would just start a little bit of stim, Lulu, tap, 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 she comes back, pressure shuts off, and she gets her reward. So we've taught her how to control it, but because it's taught with like such a low level that is non-aversive to the dog, when I went to use the e-collar for a correction, she was just like, "Oh, it's not that bad, it's fine." And she would just blow off the e-collar, ignore it, even as I would go up levels. So I really had to make it clear to her with the long line that when this e-collar starts tapping, you need to come back. You cannot just avoid it, sit through the pressure, whatnot. Definitely don't feel bad and don't give her too much time between when you recall her and when you correct her if you have to. If you call her and she does not come back, pretty quickly get on her, because the more time you allow her to ignore you, the more time she's going to take. Whatever standard you hold her to is the standard that she is going to stay at. There are some clips where I will call her back, she ignores me, and I do correct her with the e-collar, and she comes back to me, and then I reward her. Typically, we say don't feed dogs for blown recalls, but because the recalls are difficult for her, and she already has, she was struggling a little bit with compliance to the e-collar, I still decided to reward her for coming back. When we first started doing this, I would correct her, and she would either run away, back up, freeze. You know, she even though she had been conditioned and understood it, she still wanted to choose avoidance. So I had to work her through that. So now I am rewarding her for compliance to the e-collar. You'll also see in this video, sometimes I call her back, she starts to come, and then she might start to veer off a different direction. She'll put her nose to the ground to investigate something instead. Get on her for that. And then when it comes to corrections on our e-collar, don't be afraid to explore your levels. She has been on very high levels on the e-collar. She is not very sensitive to it. So I would start, a little bit lower, maybe 20. And then if she doesn't come back, no, stim, Lulu. And then if she isn't coming back, you're going to tap, 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 tap at about that sequence. Some people have the habit of wanting to like spam the e-collar and hitting it really fast. We don't want that because we want to allow her time to think clearly about what it is she needs to do to come back, time without constant pressure. Because if we're tapping too fast, the dog might get stuck, they might feel weird, they'll probably freeze, scratch at their neck, they'll not the desired behavior.
Wow.
If I recall her and she's coming back and she's doing great, I will praise her on her way. So if she's heading back to me, I'll be like, wow. Like, I'll just be like excited, be like, look, you're coming back, I'm so proud of you. Just to get her to continue coming back. She'll typically pick up her speed, and I know she'll follow through.
No. Lulu.
With her, I am a little bit less direct with my reward markers. So with most dogs, it would be like, good, feed, good, feed. She is a dog that does very well with constant praise. So if she's coming back, I'm going to be all excited. She comes into position. I'm going to tell her how great she's doing. Of course, I'm going to tell her good and feed her. But I'm also going to give her a lot of petting, a lot of praise. Your emotional response is going to be big to her. She also really likes the beef liver, so I'm making sure I only recall her with what is high value. And sometimes, like, if she's fast, she does really good, I'll give her a good amount of rewards. So I'll say good and feed maybe like 3 times before I release her. If she comes back into position and then decides she's going to get up and leave before you release her, hold her accountable for that. Make her stay in heel position until you release her. I don't have any clips of it in this video, but sometimes I would call her back and she would want to go over to Addison instead. I'd call her and she'd like kind of safety seek, like just hang out at his side and be like, well, he's not going to get me in trouble, so I'm just going to stand over here. And that is when I would continue, no, tap, tap, tap. Like, you have to come back. Sometimes dogs will play this game where they know one person is super consistent, so then they'll try and go to the other person and be like, okay, well, maybe I don't have to do it now. The other person should just ignore her entirely.